Hi, third grade. It's Miss Cobb again. I'm here to teach you writing session 2, and I have Mr. Fish. Hi, guys. Hi, Mr. Fish. And oh, what? Oh, he says, what is this? Well, Mr. Fish, I decided that for me today, I'm gonna have Crazy Hat Day. You do you, but I'm having Crazy Hat Day today. Now you can join me. Go get a crazy hat. Put it on pause. Go get a crazy hat. Or whenever you do your assignment and you turn it in on Seesaw, you can have a crazy hat and turn it in. We would love that. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. So remember yesterday when we were talking about different objects, and I showed you the pencil sharpener, and we talked about looking how poets use their poet's eyes. And so I grabbed out some poet's glasses and I said, hey, we're looking at this in a fresh new way, right? Well, poets do something else. They do another thing. When they want to make a poem, they use the sounds of words to make music. So now they look at things in a fresh new way, and then they use the sounds of words to make it sound like music. So here's the thing though. Poets don't just sing or play instruments to make music. No. The music of poems comes from the sounds of words and from the way that the words are laid down on the page. Poets choose how to place words to give the reader instructions, to tell how poems should sound like when we read them. So let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. Here's a whiteboard and I put some lines on it. And see, some lines are shorter than others. So this is at the end of this line, it's called a line break, okay? So this is a line break, and it looks like on this line that maybe only one word will fit there. But then this line is much longer, so we scoop those words up, and then here's a line break, and that's where we pause, right? Same here. We scoop all those words up, line break. And then look, here's a short line. Some poets, they make their words, their poems like this. It gives you kind of like instructions on how to read the poem. So today I want to teach you that one way to give your poems music is to pay attention to where you put the words on and where you don't put the words down on the page. Poets try a few different ways of breaking up their lines. They read that poem over and over aloud, and they try it out until the poem is just written in the way that it sounds just right to them. That's what we're going to do today. Let's read this poem called Aquarium, written by Valerie Worth. And I love the title of this poem because, you know, I'm a fish girl. So I've written this poem down in two different ways. The first way I wrote it down is just in prose. What, Miss Cobb, what is prose? P-R-O-S-E. Prose. Oh, that means I'm just writing it like regular sentences, like I'm telling you something, okay? It's just going to sound like I'm telling you something. The other way that I'm going to read this story is going to sound like music. Listen, and you're going to see what I mean. First, I'm going to read it in the prose version. Okay, so here's the prose version. Goldfish flash gold and silver scales. They flick and slip away under green weed, but round brown snails stick to the glass and stay. I want you to pause the video and I want you to read this poem 3 times out loud. And then come back to me. Okay? And then I want to show you how it sounds when a poet writes it and gives you instructions on where to pause to make it sound like music. Here it is. Goldfish, flash, gold and silver scales. They flick and slip away under green weed. But round brown snails stick to the glass and stay. I love it. Pause this. I want you to read this poem just like this, like 3 or 4 times. practice it over and over again. And then come back to me. Okay, did you practice that? That's your job. I'm trusting that you're doing your part. You got this. All right, so I like the second version, right? It gave it music. It made it pop, right? So it has those line breaks, and it tells you when to pause. Okay? And the instructions also said, hey, she showed us like how some things slow down, like a snail, right? You know, because down here the snails aren't moving, they stick to the glass and stay. Did you see how the line breaks tell me how to use my voice when I'm reading that poem? Those line breaks told me. And that's what poems do. That's the instructions that poems give. So today, I want you to think about this. I want you to ask yourself these questions. I have a few questions. So first, let's notice about what Valerie Worth did, this poetry writer. Like most poets, she uses line breaks to help her readers find the music in her poem. She uses line breaks to help us read her words like quick fish and like snow snails. So we've studied another question to ask as we read poems. Let me see. This is a question. As I read this writing, can I make a picture in my mind? Does this writing help me look at something in the world in a new way? I'm totally looking at an aquarium in a new way. Does this writing give me a certain feeling or make me think or question? Does this poem have music? These are the questions I want you to ask yourself as you write your poem today. Remember the objects yesterday I told you to look at and maybe jot down a few things about how you could look at these objects in a fresh new way? And so you were supposed to just jot some things down? Pick one of those. Pick one object, okay? And today you're going to write a poem about it. You're going to figure out where you're going to put your line breaks. You'll probably write your poem a few different ways before you find the music that you like, that works best for you. Okay? Remember that you're trying to turn words into music and that the line breaks help you do that. Okay? You can also study other poems out there. You can go on to Epic and see what they have and look at their poems and have those poems read to you and study them and how they give you music, how it makes it have music. And once again, the questions you're asking yourself is, can I make a picture in my mind? Does this writing help me look at something in the world in a new way? Does this writing give me a certain feeling or make me think or make me question? Does this poem have music? Friends, that is your assignment today. It's very easy. It's one poem. You decide. You write your poem, you write it down, you practice it many different ways, and you decide on your different line breaks. Okay, friends? You may have, yours may be different shaped than this, but remember to use your line breaks to give the reader instructions, to make the music. You're going to write your poem. You're going to read the poem or take a picture of the poem. I prefer both. I'd like you to read it, and I'd like you to then show it up to the camera so I could pause it and then read it as well. But I want you to read it first, how it gave you music. And you're going to upload it to Seesaw in the writing folder. Okay? All right, friends. You got this. Have a great day. We miss you. See you. Bye.